Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Welcome on my channel. My name is Robin Shindelka. If you're new here, you don't know me yet, I'm a DPDR and anxiety recovery coach, and I'm here today with a new topic to discuss, something that I think you'll all find very helpful and interesting if you are struggling with the experience of derealization or depersonalization. Before we start, I want to just make a quick announcement. As the people that have been following know maybe already, I've been struggling with a waiting list for a couple of months now, since January, which means that I haven't been able to help as many people as I want to in one-on-one coaching. And because the demand has been rising, my waiting list has been growing, and I wanted to do something about that because I want to be able to help as many of you as possible. I have obviously my online course for people that want to be able to help themselves through online coaching and being able to apply the tools that I would give you in one-on-one coaching through an online course. So that's my DPDR recovery course, and that's been helping many to recover fully from DPDR and anxiety. But I also wanted to have a separate option for people that are kind of looking to have that direct contact with me as a coach, but don't want to wait months to start working with me. So I've recently started to do group coaching sessions. So in the group coaching sessions, you work together with 3 other people in a group for a 5-week trajectory. And every week there's a session of 1 hour and 15 minutes up to 1 hour and 30 minutes, in which basically I work with you on the topic of DPDR and anxiety recovery with other people that are going through the same thing. So as I haven't really announced it officially, I guess that's what I'm doing now. So if you're interested in joining a waiting list for group coaching, then what you can do is you can just click on the link in the description that will take you to my website, where there's more information on the group coaching. And then through the WhatsApp link, just send me a message with your name and your time zone, and then I will contact you if I have a new group starting that you can join. But before you do that, maybe double check to see all the information on the group coaching to see if it is something for you. The option is more affordable than one-on-one coaching, obviously, and you also have the ability to learn from other people going through the same thing. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there for you guys to know. And with that being said, let's get into the topic of today. Today's topic is going to be more of I would say a little bit more of a philosophical discussion than I usually do. Not to scare you off, I'm not going to say anything crazy. I think everything I'll talk about today will be very reassuring. But the reason I wanted to do this video is because one of the symptoms that I notice obviously most in my clients struggling with derealization or depersonalization is the question of, is this really real? And can I know that life is real? And how do I know that my experience is real? And it made me think this week, because I've always kind of assumed this as a symptom, and I've always kind of gone with it. But this week I started questioning myself, what does it actually mean for something to be real? Just a very quick side note, the first 5 minutes of the video, so up until minute 5, might be a bit vague or blurry, or you might not completely understand what I'm talking about, but I really want to encourage you to keep watching, because I know some of these concepts or talks might sometimes trigger you, but I am very, very, very convinced that this is a super helpful video, and I really want to encourage you to keep watching, because I think it will make a lot of things more clear for you, and it will give you a very clear tool to work with. So please stick it through to the end of the video, be present, try and understand as much as you can, and know that by the second half of the video things will get a lot more clear. So just a quick side note for that. What is reality? A very broad, abstract, philosophical question that obviously I will not be able to answer today, but what it made me think about was my kind of off the top of my head answer to what is real is if something is. So if I am looking at my hand and I ask myself, how do I know my hand is real? Well, what I'm actually asking is my hand really there? And so when it comes to the questioning of reality, if you really truly sit with the question of, is it real? Then I feel like the answer to that question is, if it is, then it is real. It is real because it is here. And if my experience of looking at the world around me and looking at the trees and looking at, my surroundings, and I ask myself, is it real? Then the fact that I am looking at it, the fact that it is there, means that it is, in whatever way it might be. If it is an hallucination experience, and if it is a physical experience, if it is in a material experience, however I experience it, the experience is. The things I see are. They exist, they are here. Therefore, because it is there, because it exists, it is what I perceive as real. And so what I started to think about is, what is this question of, is it real, really about? And what I realized was, it is not even about knowing if it is real, because to just experience something means that it is real because it is, in whatever way it might be. What I think it is more about is the question, do I feel normal about it? Does it make sense to me? Can I grasp it? Can I understand it? Can I feel connected to the experience in a way that I would feel like it is real or normal, better to say. And so what I want to explain to you guys that is very important to understand on this question of realness, and maybe my explanation up to this point has been a bit blurry or vague, but it will make it more clear in a second, is in philosophy there's two ways to interpret something that is, to interpret the experience of life. The first way is the common sense experience, which basically means the experience for what it is. And if you are in a common sense experience of life, you are seeing life through the experience of it. So for example, if I'm walking in nature, then I am experiencing the walk in the present moment, being fully surrendered to the experience of life. That's the first experience. The second way to look at life is through the analytical perspective, which basically means instead of being in the experience, you zoom out and analyze or reflect on the experience. And I can give you an example for that. So I have this pen right here. The common sense experience of this pen is that it's something I use to write. So if I'm using this pen to write my name down, to start writing in my journal, that's the common sense experience of the pen, which has reality, which is real in the way that I'm using it. And my experience of this pen is, it exists, so therefore it is real. However, if I would start analyzing this pen, I would start to look at it and go, well, what is this pen made of? And what is the atoms in this pen, and who invented this pen, and why is the pen the way it is, and why is this pen in my hand, and how did it get here? And to start questioning the essence of the pen itself, like, what does it mean for something to be a pen, which in philosophy would be more an analytical perspective. Now, what happens when you are in these two perspectives is, when you're in the common sense experience, you feel connected to the meaning of the object. You feel connected to the experience that you are in because you're surrendered to it. But when you're questioning it from an analytical perspective, what you're literally doing is zooming out and questioning it. Therefore, you lose connection to it. If I would look at this pen for an hour, right, and I would start just analyzing, questioning it, then at some point I would lose the common sense experience, and it would just be this random weird object that I can't seem to connect to anymore. Similar with if you repeat your own name 1,000,000 times or even 100 times, at some point it doesn't feel like your name anymore. It just feels like sounds and letters and words. But if someone just randomly calls you once and you just kind of are in the surrendered experience of saying, this is my name, then that feels normal. So I want to zoom in on that word, on that little phrase I just said, to feel normal. When you are questioning, is this real? What you are truly saying is, I want to feel like this is normal. And for something to feel normal, you need to be in the surrendered common sense experience of that thing. If my name feels normal, it's because I'm not questioning that it's my name. It's because I'm in the experience of Robin being my name and listening to it when someone calls me. That if my name does not feel normal anymore, it's because I am taking a distance and questioning my name over and over again up until the point that I realize it's just letters and words and sounds. Therefore, I lose the sense of normality or connection to that thing. So if you know this, and you know that for something to be real is actually about something feeling normal, then how does normality return? How does your sense of experiencing life and life just feeling normal and as it should be return? The answer is actually quite simple. It's when you stop questioning it. When you stop being in that analytical perspective and you start to return to the surrendered experience of life again. So what can this practically look like? Because I know with DPDR, everything's so vague that you need something tangible. I'm going to give you an example. So say that I am in DPDR experience, which I was obviously in a few years ago, and I would be walking around in the city on the street, and I would start to feel like everyone looked like a robot, or everyone felt weird, or everyone looked strange, and I would start questioning, are these people real? So the first thing is, like I said in the beginning, I see them, I see people there, therefore they exist, they are there, therefore they are real, because reality is what is. So that's the first thing I would get into, is just understanding, okay, they are, therefore they are real. So then the second question is, what is it really about? It's about, I don't feel like it is normal. I don't feel like this experience makes sense, like I can grasp it, like it's normal. Okay, why? Well, because I'm in the zoomed out experience. I'm not in the surrendered experience of just looking at these people and going, yeah, they're people, they're there. I don't have to question them. I can just be in the experience of reality. I can just surrender to the experience of being here and now exactly as it is. No, I would do the opposite. I would go and zoom out and question, is this real? Is this really as it should be? Are these people as they should be? Am I as I should be? And so you're constantly questioning, analyzing, and therefore creating more and more of a weird experience, similar to the pen or me repeating my name. So to return to a sense of normality, what I had to do basically, as I was walking in the city and feeling like completely dissociated and weird, is to become okay with that experience exactly as it is. To understand that it is as it is, therefore it is real the way it is, and to surrender fully to the way I was experiencing it in that moment. Because like I said, something normal is something that you're used to. If you move to a different place that you've never been before, the first time you're there, it's not going to feel normal. It's not gonna feel like home yet. But if you continue to surrender to the fact that you've moved there and it's a new place, and you just surrender to the experience over and over again, at some point you wake up, you go to the store, and it just feels like normal. Whereas the first day you lived there, it felt really strange and weird because it was different. So to have a sense of normality return, to have that feeling of realness return, which is to feel like it is normal again, you have to get used to the experience again. You have to get used to the surrendered experience of life again. So the best way to put that into practice, and this is what I used to do, is I would walk on the street and I would just continually repeat in my mind, everything is the way it is. Everything is as it should be, and I surrender to this experience completely as it is. And to then really try and embody that, to just be in the moment as it was, as I was dissociated, to not force any connection, to not force any idea of realness, to not force a sense of normality, but just to try and become used to the experience exactly as it was. Once you're used to something, it literally feels normal. And so I think the reason why a lot of people stay stuck in DPDR is because they instead of getting used to the experience of DPDR, which sounds weird to say, they are constantly hyper questioning everything that they're perceiving. Is a DPDR here? Am I feeling weird? Am I feeling out of it? But it's that questioning in and of itself that pulls you away from this common sense, normal experience of life. So it's the trying to recover often, the trying to feel normal again, that creates so much hyper awareness of your feelings that it just keeps putting you in that analytical perspective and keeps pulling you away from what normality really is, which is for life to just be as it is and for you to surrender to it. So I hope that this gives you a bit more information on where to focus on in these moments when you're still so hyper questioning reality, and to know that for life to feel normal and real again means to just be in the experience of it as it is. And if that means first being in the experience of DPDR as it is, then that's what it has to be. But the more you try and pressure that connection to return, and the more you try and pressure the feeling of realness to return, the further and further you'll continue to pull yourself away from it. Which is, again, like I've explained many times before, and what I very much focus on in the course, for example, is why acceptance is so important. All right, so I hope you guys had some insights from this video. It's already like a 15-minute video, so I'm gonna round off right now, but I will put some links in my description with further resources for you to check out. I want to thank you for joining today. I hope that I'll be there with a new recovery story sometime soon in the future, but if not, I'll just talk to you guys next week, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and a lovely weekend.